Hey everyone! So, one of the worst feelings when playing ADC is getting out of the lane phase only to face the reality that an assassin on the enemy team has been feasting on your teammates and are now able to immediately one-shot you if given the chance. This is a common symptom in low elo since your teammates will constantly make huge mistakes, which assassins are best equipped for punishing in the early game, since they don't rely as much on items to deal significant damage compared to other champions. Not to worry. In this guide, we're going to run through the ins and outs of how a challenger player easily deals with this, alongside real-time commentary of the thought process behind all of his key decision making. There will be plenty of questions in this guide, giving you the opportunity to see if you can think like a challenger player to overcome the threat of assassins with challenger level decision making. And just so you know, this game, along with over 100 others, is a part of our brand new live Smurf commentaries page on our website. We upload a ton of these every week that you can check out right away to see how challengers carry in elo hell from start to finish. That, on top of 800 plus guides, 100 plus challenger courses, direct pro replay coaching, and an improvement guarantee, skillcapped is the only place to be if you're serious about improving. At this point, Hector's game is going pretty well so far. He's stomping the laning phase, but if we look at the scoreboard at 10 minutes, we'll see Nocturne is already 5-1. Most of us would probably be typing GG go next, since we all know what's coming for us soon. But despite how fed Nocturne is, Hector won't die a single time from this moment for the rest of the game. He's going to apply a ton of missions that you can always apply in your games so that you can avoid dying to fed assassins. The first, and one of the most important tips to follow, is to literally just follow the assassin on the map. It stands to reason that if they're nowhere near you, then, well, you can't die. Hector will obviously want to snowball his lead and push to take tower after scoring this Jinx kill, but we know that Nocturne still has ult. Overextending in lane could be dangerous, but then...
I do see Nocturne not topside, so I don't have to be afraid of anything either.
Because he knows for certain that Nocturne is topside, he doesn't even flinch when the darkness comes down. Instead, he can finish off the tower and even move forward to snag an easy Leona kill. After ending the lane phase, Hector bases. Now, off this recall, where do you think Hector will path towards next?
I have a hard time split pushing this game, so I kind of don't even want to go bot. Normally I would go bot because I can't farm mid or top lane. But the problem is Nocturne, if I go bot and my Alistar doesn't follow, Nocturne could have killed me. I had no way of knowing he was going to be top right.
So this is a concept we obviously explore constantly whenever we review Hector in low elo. He never wants to sit in the lane sharing farm, but at this point, Nocturne's ultimate is likely coming back up soon, so the safer option is to just go do Rift Herald with his team. Now, where do you think he should go after securing the Rift Herald? So, along the same line of thinking, Hector will path mid afterwards. He'd love to go top, but Nocturne is clearly topside and would likely just result in his death. This is a good opportunity to bring up that grouping isn't inherently a bad option. It's just a bit more RNG than looking to power farm yourself to late game. If random fights like these occur, and your opponents force a coin flip fight instead of simply defending the Herald, then yes, grouping can look like it's super effective. We just don't want to hindsight analyze this part and be all like, wow, Hector totally knew how to snowball this game. This isn't even what he wanted to do. Now let's hear his next bit of wisdom.
So normally I might be looking to flash in and get kills, but Nocturne is such a threat this game that I have to value my own flash over anything else.
And of course, we know now not to break inhibitors at 17 minutes into the game due to that prior commentary, so he just pings his team to back off this time. After recalling, Hector immediately finds himself in another situation fairly similar to the previous one.
I don't want to exhaust this, I think she's fine. Also, even if my exhaust saves her, I think I would rather let her die, because I need exhaust to be selfish.
Saving his summoner spells for this Nocturne is clearly super important for him. If you're the most fed member of your team, of course the assassin is going to target you every single time. Being able to outplay their abilities and save your shutdown gold is pivotal for long-term success. We see immediate payoff to this when moments later, he's pushing top lane with his team. Despite being defended by his Alistar and Olaf, Nocturne was still a huge threat to his life, and he was mostly saved by having his summoner spells available at the time. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to smash that like button, and hitting subscribe would also be an amazing way to show your support. Shortly after he recalls. As always against assassins, you have to consider paying the assassin tax. The decision whether to invest in defensive items will depend on how strong you and the assassin both are. If you're falling behind, you likely won't have the luxury to invest in defensive items. There's no point to being alive if you do no damage, so you'd follow a standard build. If the assassin isn't particularly strong, it goes without saying that you'd still build damage as they're a non-factor. But in this case, Hector is strong and Nocturne is strong, so he builds defensively. Let's listen to why that is.
So if I was behind, I would potentially go the BF sword here because you need damage when you're behind. But because I'm ahead and I'm not lacking damage, the defensive items I think are more important.
Shortly after, we can see Hector playing particularly defensively and backing off out of vision from the enemy. Let's see what he has to say.
Oh boy. So hopefully Nocturne engages on someone else. I can't really commit because I don't have much vision. Well done, Veigar. That is the one threat against me. Nice.
Okay, so this seems super easy and as if Hector didn't actually do anything there to turn things around. This brings us back to a crucial point that we made at the start of the guide and will hopefully change the way that you think about fed assassins. The reason assassins get fed so easily below diamond is because players are constantly out of position and give away tons of free kills. This will not change throughout the game. What Hector is doing is playing far back and out of vision whenever Nocturne is a threat, baiting Nocturne into constantly going for his feeding teammates instead of him. In this case, Zyra traded for Nocturne and Hector can walk right in and easily clean up. What Hector's doing is very simple. Assassins generally want to use their powerful ultimates off cooldown to score kills. So, whenever Nocturne's ultimate is up and Hector has a defensive option available, he can move forward and potentially bait Nocturne into killing him. But if he has no defensive options available, like Flash, Exhaust, GA, then he is really playing far back to deny Nocturne that option. This will bait Nocturne into trying to kill Hector's teammates, allowing him to move forward since now Nocturne cannot threaten him. This playstyle is just as effective for dealing with any high threat assassin like Zed, Katarina, Fizz, Rengar, etc. Anyway, skipping ahead, and unfortunately Hector lost the GA that he bought in an earlier fight. Not only that, but his exhaust is down as well, leaving him with only Flash. While being able to fend for yourself is very important in solo queue, it is a team game at the end of the day. When you have no other options, your best course of action would be to
ideally want to stick around my Alistar as much as possible, that way he can't come in on me without getting CC'd. We are going very deep into the enemy jungle. I'm just going to aggro Baron to hit her.
Again, thinking about it from the assassin's perspective. Even if it is possible for Nocturne to kill Hector at the moment, would he rather go for him or the isolated Veigar we see on the minimap at the moment? But then again, this just plays into Hector's favor anyways. His Veigar dying is actually good for him in a way since Nocturne has no ult and is, well, dead, so he can just go clean up the rest of the enemy team. And to fully seal the outcome of this game, let's once again hear Hector's awareness of the current game state.
I will just wait. Their only comeback here is if they're like cheesing me here, right? There's no Yep. I need to kite even more. I can't move forward here.
Even without mechanically playing this fight too well, Hector's awareness of the situation, defensive itemization, and summoner spell discipline allows him to easily kite the fight out and eventually ace the enemy team. At some point, the threat starts to become very low. The more often you evade dying to the assassin, the weaker and weaker they get relative to everyone else in the game. Hector's successful evasion of anything Nocturne related this game has put Nocturne so far behind that he can even just face check and kill him at this point. Alright everyone, remember, the full Varus game alongside more than 100 live commentaries are available at skillcapped for you to check out right away, along with all the other perks that we talked about earlier. Be sure to hit subscribe on our YouTube channel to show your support and not miss the next upload. And don't forget to leave a comment below to tell us how you did with the questions and what you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.